I was
So,
about to say you didn't let ChatGPT do it for you.
yep. So I took my original idea, which like I said, I hand drew. So this is what I drew and I uploaded. So I drew this by hand, obviously,
Nice.
and it pretty much did exactly. Uh, I threw it into the old AI machine and I said, "Hey, I want you to do this, 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 and this with this hand drawing that I did," and boop, it made it perfect. Made it represent what my Brews and Views channel is.
Did we go
What's
live?
up?
I didn't
What's
even
up?
know
We
we
are
were.
live.
What's up,
Yes,
Mike?
we are. Welcome. Welcome to the 81st edition of the Home Theater Hub, where we talk about Paul's new channel, Brews and Views.
Yeah. I'm gonna start doing some videos. I got some high end, bougie high end for consumers, coffee stuff actually. That I got a difluid scale, which for those that don't know anything about coffee, it's basically just like any other scale, but it's super sensitive to lighter weight. But it also has a timer built into it because whenever you get into engineering of coffee, it's based on time and extraction, um, and how much coffee you put in versus how much water you put out, and the pressure that you're putting onto the coffee and all. And you can also do regular pour overs or drip coffee and stuff like that. But if you're doing pour overs and stuff like that, you want to sometimes, know exactly how much water over how much time you're doing that. And that's what this scale does. And on top of that, I have a very actual science measuring tool. It measures solubles. So it measures your how much your, I forget the term, fraction, or I forget what it's called. I have to remind myself, but it measures all the little molecules of the coffee. So you have to take it out, use like a distilled water at the room temperature, drop it on, zero it out, and then you have to take your coffee, and it has to be the exact same temperature, like within 0.01 or 0.02 degrees, and then put it on the sensor, and it measures how much extraction you got from your coffee. And I also got a really high-end
That's way
grinder.
too technical for me.
So,
Look,
and
I'm
to
trying to
that,
wake up. Like, did I connect to the wrong
yeah.
wrong
Hey, it's
show
brews and
tonight?
views. You can brew more than beer.
Like,
Brews
And
and
welcome
here's
to the Home
a
Theater subreddit of coffee home theater. I don't even know what to
oldest
define this intro we just had.
There you
But
go. Some
oldest
Yingling.
brewery in, I believe, the United States. Correct me if I'm wrong for anyone else that
Pennsylvania brewed.
Yingling, and this is, I think it's the oldest in the United States, anyways. It's like 27, something like that, 1927 or something crazy like that.
So if you guys haven't went over and subscribed to
Cheers.
Paul's channel yet, go over. It's Brews
Yeah,
and Views,
just now
all
starting
one
it.
word. Just now starting it. So I look forward to not watching any coffee videos. I will definitely watch your barcades and stuff like that.
You'll watch my home theater views more than the
Absolutely.
coffee brews.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I don't drink coffee, so
I
I'm
mean, yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
fun watching a movie and just drinking coffee, and then you give your opinion, giving you ideas, right? Watch me as I sip my, I don't know, $6,000 coffee and talk about this cheap movie.
Hey,
I bought.
you're not far off. They do have coffee that's
So we just want to
yeah.
welcome Michael into the chat. Derek, thank you. Anthony says he's just had a baby 5 hours ago and he's
Oh
still
my
made the
gosh.
podcast.
Did-
So
Wow.
I will not be responsible for what your wife does to you or your girlfriend or what your significant other. So yeah. Well, congratulations on the
Cheers.
baby.
Cheers
Boy,
to that. You'll
boy-
need
Yeah.
another one of these.
boy or girl? Boy or girl? Which And how many pounds?
Well, I hope everyone is doing good, and yeah, there goes your sleep, right? So hopefully we can keep you awake. Because
And
you're gonna be needing a lot of staying awake. So.
Maybe that's why he's watching.
that
He's
coffee,
like, oh,
too.
this will put me to sleep quickly.
That coffee
Maybe I
Paul
can
has
get
been
15
talking
minutes
about.
in.
That coffee Paul has been talking about my help too. So
Very good. So he says, my third. Well, happy
wow.
belated Father's Day, sir.
Welcome to
And-
number 3, man. Welcome to the
and,
club.
And then happy Father's Day to everyone out there that is a father,
Wow.
and those that may act as a father. So if you have any women out here watching that do dual roles,
Yep.
I did it for quite some time, so I got to do Mother's Day and Father's Day. I raised my older son by myself since he was 8 years old, so definitely can understand that. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. I know we're getting off to a off-topic start here, but Paul's Bruising Views, man. Congratulations on the channel.
Podcast. We're just chilling, talking.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, what did you guys do for Father's Day? Did you do anything good?
Yeah, went to church, got back, grilled, spent time with the family. We had a great time.
Yeah, I was camping.
You were camping
and drinking beer. Imagine
glamping or camping.
I was in a tent this time, but it was still
okay.
glamping because we had power, so we had an air conditioner in the tent to cut the humidity.
They'll
call that glamping.
Bougie.
Yeah, air conditioner and humidity and
that's the first world camping.
Where'd you go? Colorado?
No, we just went to a local lake called Pomme de Terre in Missouri. It's only a couple hours away from here, and normally we go paddleboarding and stuff like that, but when we got there we found out that there was blue algae, and I actually apparently contracted some poison ivy or poison oak or something in my yard, I guess, that this past week, and it got really bad and was like open, so I wasn't going to get in the water anyway. So tales of a rough life.
Man, did you infected the poison ivy?
I'm not allergic, but I don't know what I'm allergic. I was working on my gutter and I got a bunch of cuts on my legs whenever I was in the bushes and the trees cleaning out the gutters, because I'm just like, whatever. My legs are.
You didn't hear what I asked you.
No,
but
apparently
I said you infected the poison ivy. But
oh well, yeah, that poison ivy is probably dead now. I touched it. It got drunk and fell over.
Yeah.
So
you did some camping. I actually went out to a nice restaurant here in South Florida called Old Lisbon. It's Portuguese food, true Portuguese food. So got to go there. Had the codfish.
Portuguese food.
What did you try?
They have they specialize in the dried codfish, to where they salt it and dry it out and then rehydrate it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife
really fishy.
Did you like it?
No, it was really good actually. It was very good.
I've tried it once and it's acquired taste.
Yeah, no, it was a little salty, but I do like Brazilian, like the Brazilian steakhouses and stuff like that. That
you don't have an option, do you?
Where the food? No.
There's one thing I like that's Brazilian, and it doesn't have anything to do with food.
So, I got one of those at the house. So yeah, we went there with my brother-in-law and got to enjoy that. And then of course, last week we were gone. I was on vacation in the Dominican Republic.
Just make sure you share the right pictures, buddy.
Yeah, this is actually the hotel picture. So.
Wow, dang, dude.
So this football field of a pool, I'm telling you, literally, it was the size of a football field. Was pretty awesome. So I stayed at the Lopesan Costa Bravaro Resort in the DR in Punta Cana. It was awesome. It was very relaxing. My son loved it. So you did something right when the kid cries that he don't want to leave vacation.
Wow. That, yeah. You must have been having a good time.
Yeah. So
That is saying something. I mean, unless you're at like Disneyland or something.
Yeah, of course.
That
yeah.
doesn't count though.
Yeah, so it was beautiful there. Didn't have very much seaweed at all. So they had splash pad for kids and adults. So you got to do
Wow.
all the stuff here. And they had one thing that I wanted to show through here. They had like several mini pools everywhere too. But they had this. I'm getting to it because it's home theater related. Let's see here. Well, not home theater related, but they had like live shows. It was like a full stadium type like arena. And what you see here is these are all like micro LED panels. So even the small little ones, they were micro LED. And then behind the people that were dancing and stuff like that, doing the entertainment. But the sound system was pretty damn good in there too. So it was fun. I took part in a show that they called Stars, and basically they played songs from all the various stars like Beyonce, Rihanna. They had some
You
countries.
say you took part.
Well,
watched?
I've watched.
Okay, I was like, okay,
no.
I
I didn't watch.
Rewind to whatever that
They
was.
they tried to pull me up on stage just for like icebreaker stuff, but I wasn't doing that stuff in the beginning. So, but yeah, so got to enjoy a nice family vacation. So, apologize for not being here last week, but definitely appreciate you guys coming back to the show today. So,
Yeah. Glad you had fun. Glad
Yeah,
they
man.
let you back in the country.
they definitely tried not to. No. So
Yeah, they tried to keep you out, probably.
No.
Like, wait a minute, no.
no. So were you able to partake in any movies this week, Ike?
Yeah, I went back and started rewatching the entire Resident Evil series.
Oh, nice.
I realized I hadn't watched it in a long time. So went
Wow.
back and saw the first one and looking forward to seeing the rest of them.
Nice.
Very nice.
It's
Very
a
nice.
really good movie. I
I haven't seen all of them at all.
actually never watched it in a proper like home theaters settings. So it was just good. I was like, wow, okay, it has good audio too.
Nice.
It has
Nice.
really good, really good audio, so I was playing around and then I started it and I realized I just got caught up just watching it. I was like, wow, this is really good. So yeah, I'll be spending plenty of time. And then I also got the opportunity this week to take a look at a $30,000 projector,
Nice.
Oh, very
10,000 lumens.
Oh, is this an Epson by chance?
Yes, it was.
Ah, I saw
Got a
that
chance
one.
to
It's
spend
a
a
nice
couple of
one.
hours with that thing, and I was like, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I liked it better than the Christie, to be honest.
Oh,
I mean,
wow. Okay, now that
I-
now you put it.
I think it's one of those things where, like a car with 8,000 horsepower going, whatever, to the grocery store. It's like, well, yeah, it's amazing, but it's like, man, I'm having trouble in the, like driving a Formula One car. People that's never been in one, it's like, it is hard to start and even get that thing moving, right? It's so friggin' geared hard. And do you want to go through that much trouble just to go from point A to point B? It's where this thing, man, for like home use, to me, I loved it. I was like, dude, this thing is amazing. Like as far as projectors, it's like
The first thing I really liked about it was just the design. So when you take a look at the design here, it doesn't really look catchy, right? It just looks like, but when you look at it in person, it looks like something that's just next gen. It looks like a spaceship. And it's actually big.
yeah, it is big. It is big. They're nice though. I
Yeah,
love
it looks really, really good just from the design perspective.
Yep.
I was like, wow, okay. It didn't look this good in the pictures, but yeah.
Yeah.
So what type of content were you viewing?
Just a couple of demos. It was paired with the Mad VR, and I believe it was
Oh, wow.
not the Revolution. What's the other player? The one I don't have.
Sadu?
The Zedu 8K
Oh,
player.
80,000. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just kind of went through, shout out to Taylor. Thanks. That was a wonderful experience at his place. But yeah, we kind of just went through a bunch of demos, and it is an amazing. But yeah, we can get back to it once we go around. So
Yeah, I
Well-
really liked it. It fit. Like, I think that thing would do like a friggin' 200-inch screen without a problem.
it was being projected on 170-inch diagonal,
Oh wow.
and then he was able to expand it to 190-inch diagonal
Wow.
screen, and that thing did not break a sweat.
Yeah.
It just looked like I was watching a TV.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was it in 16:9 or Cinescope?
60 by 9.
Wow. That's huge. For
Yeah.
16 by 9.
It
Wow.
didn't break a sweat, not even from a sound, not even
Yeah.
from a
And,
noise.
and I have zero doubts. I mean, just that obviously a Christie, the Barcos are going to be way better, but for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's like being able to produce 180 decibels of sound. It's like, oh, okay, but you can't ever use that. You'll go deaf, right? I mean, you're not going to do that. That, to me, in a home, that's what these Christie projectors are doing. Unless you just have I mean, if you have the money, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Because you can always restrict, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things. But this is the type, to me, from my experience, what I saw whenever we did the KC tour, that I was like, man, this is like the top of the line, projector right there. I mean, you got the JVCs, you've got these, and it's all on,
Yeah.
what your flavor is,
Yeah,
they're all amazing.
Yeah, just experiencing it on the size of that screen. Like my own theater is 137. It just reinforced the fact that, to me, immersion is really just about everything, bro. Because when you're taking a look at, some of the demos that I'd already seen multiple times, but just having them projected on a 170-inch diagonal screen
Yeah.
and up to 190, and the light out, I think it's not even calibrated yet, and I think we're pushing around 250, 300 lumens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just from, the light output of that thing was
So
wow.
did they have it cranked up all the way?
It was on 80%, I believe. It wasn't even up to 100.
Wow.
80 to 85%, I believe. That's what it was on. And I was
Damn.
like,
330. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a lot.
oh, you see, we hit 330 lumens.
I mean, that's basically what my OLED TV does.
That's it.
I have like a whatever, the C9 or whatever, and I've measured it. I think it hits like 390 or whatever, but or maybe 360, I think, because they normally do 300, but you got lucky sometimes, and they'll do like more. And I got one of the ones that were a little bit brighter, and yeah, that thing is more than bright enough. I mean, I had my windows and everything open, and I can still see out of that thing. So 330 for a projector. Like,
330. It's your correct, Anthony. Yeah, but it was the only disappointment for me was my budget, man, my wallet, man. Because
I hear you.
That's the only disappointment. Part of it.
So while you were there, what's the decision? Because the lenses are a big part of that one, right? Now, what are the choices, or what makes you decide what lens to get? And because I've never looked at them, and I'm just curious. Taylor should come on here and
I wish Taylor could help on. We'll get him on.
Because I'm like, what? Like, just the lens, like, not, or, just conversation. We don't need to see whatever he's got going on, but I would be curious of, what makes you decide? What are their options? I've never looked at it, and it's better just to get it from people, because
they had
Google stuff.
Click back there. They had lenses on there.
Yeah, I think the options are endless, right? Because it works with just about every Epson projector, from their industry corporate
Shoot, you could probably
know,
buy used
they
ones,
have,
stuff
yeah,
like
the
that, you
used
know?
market, and
But
I thought it would be expensive, but I've stored it around
the Brit
2
lenses
grand.
are anywhere from what, 15 to 3 grand for
Yeah,
their high
Click
end.
on accessories and see what it
So
shows
I don't know what they're.
on
accessories.
the
But that's
bottom
the
in the
thing
middle.
about that. I mean, granted, that's nothing
Lenses.
compared to, some of the stuff you have to. Oh wow, yeah. So those are like legit camera like type of lenses. So you
Yeah.
could have like and that's what I really like about these options, right? You can, or some of them you'll buy like a projector, right? And it'll be like a $80,000 projector, and you have to buy like a $20,000 lens, right? And it's like, oh my god, like
Yeah. So this one says it's from 9 to 20,000 lumen projectors.
wow.
Yeah, so you have, plenty of options, right? Because it works with just about every projector that they currently have out there. Oh, crap. I just jumped all over the damn place. It works with
Yeah, I would be.
all the options that they have there. And I was thinking that the prices would be like out there, but they're really relatively budget friendly.
I
Yeah,
would be afraid of the snorkel projectors just because they're so it's so hard because you're dealing with mirrors and
You're referring to this one at the
Yeah,
bottom?
yeah,
Yeah,
that-
usually for
But
the shot throw, right?
but I mean, if you do it right, yeah, and it's a good lens. But generally, I would think something like that would be more for like showrooms. Or
So I'm not sure if you know or not, Paul, but a lot of times with those bigger Christies and Barcos, they actually mount them facing the ceiling on a wall, and they use a mirror to shoot it
To reflect it.
to
Yeah,
receive,
yeah.
just to save space.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so you
So-
don't look into those things.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, now that yes, that makes sense. If you're just doing the mirror, man, that would be hard to do though, because people don't realize a mirror is that you can buy $1,000 mirrors,
Mhm.
right? Like that's its own thing, like that's pretty wild, but yeah, it
Yeah,
would be
I-
cool to have
That would definitely be a great experience. So
having
question
everything
for you.
hidden,
Question for you. Did you notice, because you have a JVC, right?
Yeah.
So did you notice a difference in the blacks? Because from what I listened, I always listen to Ryan's show and Jonathan, just about every single week. And, Ryan's got that Christie, and I know that, I also know that Jonathan was also playing with this projector, and they're both on board saying, you don't notice the blacks. Now, if you're going to put them side by side, obviously you will in a light controlled room. But there's, people are saying that, with the, just, you get so much more HDR. You really don't see it. So I'm very,
and I think that was my experience, right? I think, yes, at $30,000, you have the right to ask for a little more contrast
right.
on that thing. But the light output, it just felt like still watching a TV, right? So it's like, I think the light output and the immersion that you can get from it, as long as you have the wall size to put a screen on it, I really don't think that I will be that concerned about contrast level on this particular projector.
well, the
Because
contrast
the colors
the
are
contrast is
popping.
still there, but the blacks are not. Like
Yeah, the blacks itself, like,
the contrast
you know,
is there, but it's on a different, like contrast is here's a point and here's a point, right? On a JVC, right? Like let's say this is black, can't see. A JVC is like boop, let's just say an OLED is boop here, right? And you can have only, 300 lumens, and the contrast is so great. It's you can see everything perfectly.
Yeah.
The only time you would notice is if you did some super, super bright scene and it wouldn't be as bright.
Yeah.
But do you really need the brightness?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. So It depends on your screen size, right? So,
Yeah,
if you were going to remain with a 136-inch screen, I think you can definitely drop down to the lower model, which is like what 7,000 lumens, I think, and you would probably still reap the same benefits as you
yeah.
do with this particular projector.
Yeah.
And there's one even to say, if you're in 136 inches and you're going to spend 30 grand on this, it would you want to put a 115-inch TV up for 10 grand?
yeah. Well, yeah.
It's just,
honestly,
or even
honestly,
136.
yes.
I
If
still,
you're, if
out
I,
of 100, I still
I
want
would
the
agree. I would
115
agree with that as long as, yeah. I mean, assuming no problems getting it in, right?
Right.
Yes, that would. At that point, if you're talking like 115 versus 136, but if you're going like 150,
Right.
200, then you're, it's one of those.
Yeah, there's no comparison.
Like, yeah,
If you're going over 150, regardless.
Yeah, I would still take 115-inch projector, at least a screen with this type of projector over 115-inch OLED, man. Like I know we all love the blacks and we love all of that stuff. But man, that immersion of just sitting down and watching, just your favorite movie and it's just all out there on that screen.
size
And
matters.
you're not trading that light output because you're still getting it. And you're not trading the colors because you're still getting that HDR, that pop. Yeah, I'll still go with the immersion.
I mean, I think the only reason, if you're in a light controlled room, the only reason to go for this is if you decide that, hey, I want to open the windows up and I want to just play it, right? But if you're in a light controlled
then
room,
you're going back to, if you're in a light controlled room, you could just stick with like
Right.
your high end JVCs, and then get the, unarguably better blacks. Like,
correct.
You know what I mean?
But you're not going to get that. You're maxed out at 3,500 lumens, and you're not going to get a true 3,500 lumens out of a calibrated JVC.
No, but still, you're going to get an amazing experience.
Correct.
I mean,
yeah. No, you definitely will.
But yeah, if you have any, I did like the brightness of that. It was amazing. I mean, the Christie was used properly, and it was a little bit more vibrant. A little more saturation added, and you could tell. And so it was being used properly. It was probably oversaturated, but I like that. It's like, hey, if you've got the ability to do it, and it just made the HDR pop that much more. So it was like being on vivid mode, right? But I appreciated that. And that's what I really liked about it, right? But if you're just using it normal, everyday watching like I would and just enjoying it, I really liked this projector. It was,
man, check out the 3-year enhanced warranty plan. $6,000.
yeah.
That will buy you an SZ7.
Well,
what's the normal warranty on that?
We're not talking to your
normal warranty for 1 year. I think it's $2,500.
You're not talking to your average consumer whenever you're talking $30,000 for a projector. Dude, that's a car.
It should come with a normal warranty too.
No, this is enhanced extended performance.
That's if you're doing like a small theater. It's like, dude, hey, I'm paying $6,000. You come here and fix this shit. That's that type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, just go fix it.
You need an air filter for this thing?
That's to get
some change the oil.
Like me out there working on it. Like, hold on, I'm damn it.
It's equivalent to buying a car. Might as well change the air filter. But yes, it's an impressive.
I'm glad you got to see one. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got to, and hopefully I'll be back once Taylor has everything just settled down. And he's doing a lot of construction. He has an amazing theater, and he's doing a lot of tear down. And
I hope you're making a video. Stuff. I hope you're making video out of this or content out of this.
Well, I hope he is. I wasn't able to because I spent all my time just enjoying the project.
Just in all.
What, the-
Yeah.
dude, man? Oh
It's 45.
man,
He lives 45 minutes away from me, so
you need
and
to
he's
go out
doing.
there and make some content, or do a journey monologue for him, man.
I know, right?
Unless I mean, if he has his own channel, obviously, don't steal his thunder. But
Yeah,
dude, yeah,
but
Taylor, get him over there and friggin' make him record some damn video. I am disappointed. Like,
I know,
really?
right? Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff, and Tian down building up his theater and doing some of the same stuff you're doing on the walls with yours done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like, but yes, amazing projector. That price point is it's not a joke,
No,
and
yeah, no. I mean,
It's nice. I mean, it is like the
and then you still got to buy the lens.
yeah. But again, they're not like 80.
You're gonna,
Yeah,
but
they're
you're
not-
still
they're not
looking at
expensive
$3,000-4,000
compared
bucks
to-
for a
Yeah,
lens.
yeah, yeah. But hey, that's what's nice. You buy the right lens, you're doing anamorphic or whatever. That's what makes them amazing.
Yeah. So Derek says he's been trying to get you over there for a while.
Oh man, dude. Am I gonna have to fly down or drive down to Dallas just to friggin'? I'll be like, I'll put it on Brews and Views. Don't worry.
You saw the reason why it was just difficult. You see the way she keeps walking in here, like I don't care what this guy's doing. That's the reason why I can't just wake up and go anywhere.
You're like, I got an excuse, damn it.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I'll be. It's not far. He just lives down the road from me, so that's always good. And I got.
Dallas has got a nice home theater community. You need to get hooked up with Taurus too, because Taurus
He's
has
in
been
San
having
Antonio, right?
He's been having some get-togethers and stuff at his place. They're doing like the home theater crawls and stuff like that now.
Nice.
Yeah, I should be out there in San Antonio for a walk training in August. I'll definitely reach out
That's
to
what
him.
I'm talking about, man.
Yeah,
and stop by there.
Yeah, they he posted some Facebook pictures of like a get together at his house, and I think they watched The Accountant 2.
I want to buy that. I watched it on streaming. It's a good movie.
It was good.
Yeah.
It's on Prime, right? I think it's on Prime.
I don't remember. That's
I'm not watching any movie on Prime, man.
dude.
Like,
I'm telling you,
it wasn't on Kaleidoscape because I went looking for it right away.
It's a movie that can stand on its own. It's a cool movie. I really liked it. I mean, it's totally different, but it was. That's what made it cool. I was like, oh man, I really like that movie. I watched a bunch.
Wait, here you go.
I watched a bunch of movies. I love Wade. He's every time he's like, oh man, can you start over? Do you want to hear about the coffee monologue again? We talked like 15 minutes about coffee.
So Anthony also says The Accountant 2 was good. I don't know. Taurus said it wasn't from listening or reading what he said the movie wasn't fantastic, but they enjoyed the company of each other. So
is he comparing it to the first one?
Sequels
always
it's not even a comparison. It's like a totally different.
No, I'm wondering why Taurus doesn't think it was, because sometimes you compare it to the first one. Right?
There's some cheesiness to it. I'll give you that, but other than that.
Yeah, I want to check it out. I'll wait for it to come on to Kaleidoscape. I didn't see it. I was trying to get it through Kaleidoscape. There was actually a lot of great Father's Day sales for the Kaleidoscape stuff.
Yeah,
too.
That's how I bought my friggin' $1 billion grinder. It was a Father's Day deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing stuff,
and if you join the our after show, I'll tell you a secret that I won't be sharing on how to save even more money.
Ah,
pretty much everything.
Oh well, there goes the end of
Is
the
that-
show.
is that's
There's gonna be
sickdeals.com?
like a million people joining, and I'm like, oh shit.
Well,
That's
why don't
not
put
what
the
I
link in
meant.
the chat? Let's just
It's
take
a
it to the
friends
after
that-
show.
I'll tell you guys. These guys don't even know.
I like to save
but
money, man.
it works. It works, and it's a super simple, stupid hack. It's one of those social obvious things that I guarantee you 99.9% of the world isn't even thinking about, and it works every time. It's insane. Anyway,
Yeah, unfortunately, Anthony, the Kaleidoscape doesn't have all the studios. I wish they did, but they don't have all the studios. So they're still working on a lot of different studios to be able to. But they did have the final destination up there for the newest one. It's quite expensive right now still, so I'm gonna that one's on my wish list until.
Speaking of movies, I'm going to cut in and tell you
go ahead.
all the movies that I watched this weekend.
Nice.
That you always skip. So when I was camping, and I'll have a quick micro review of a cool little battery powered Monster. It's made by Monster, like the cable company. It has speakers, 15-inch screen, HDMI input. You can put and it's battery powered, and you can put like a Fire Stick in the back of it. It's a cool little like portable entertainment center. Anyways, I'll have a quick little review of that while I was camping. And he had like a little Nintendo. We were playing Nintendo on the day. It was cool as hell. But on that, so while we were camping, I watched Friday the 13th, Part 3.
There you go. In
Uh,
3D.
no, it was on a 15-inch screen, bro. What the hell? And you can't ask me that question. Remember, I'm blind in one eye. I can't see 3D, bro.
Well, I think that's
You
the only
know
one
this.
in 3D. That the only Friday the 13th that's in 3D, I believe. So that's why
Is
I
that the
asked
only
that.
one? Oh, well, it makes sense because it's the third and it's 3D. They did smart on that. That's genius. The 3D, yeah,
Right.
obviously. Then I watched Ghost in the Shell, the 95 anime. I'm watching-
Anime one. Okay.
yeah, I watched that because I'm testing the Atmos, and man, I'm really liking it. It's really cool. And then I watched like 3 episodes of. I don't know if anybody is aware of the series Knuckles. It's a spinoff, like a series of the Sonic the Hedgehog. Knuckles.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
I know the character though, but yeah.
Yeah, you need to watch that. Your kid would love it. It's a little
Redhead
series.
Sonic.
Yeah, the Knuckles, the big fist Knuckles. There's a mini series on that.
Oh, it
Yeah,
has Kid Cudi and Idris Elba. Okay.
So, anyways, yeah, it's a great little burner in the background type of deal. So, other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all I watched. So, I watched one other. God, I can't even remember which. I watched another scary movie, and I don't even remember what the hell it was. It was so, but while we were camping, and I forget, but I watched the Friday the 13th Part 3, and I was like, damn, it's been forever since I've seen this. So, but it was cool. So everybody's adjusting their cameras.
Yeah, I just noticed my camera was a little dark.
Well, hold on, I need to adjust mine.
Yours is good.
Well, yeah, after
I'm just gonna call
after
you
he
now.
said, "Hey, dude, your camera's off," I was like, "Oh crap, let me check." Yeah, my light
Yeah.
was a little off.
Yeah, but there are a couple of movies that are supposed to be coming out in 4K, right? So I'm looking forward to a few of them. Don't ask me, I don't remember. I just watched Shane Lee's
Well,
channel.
I think there's every Tuesday new movies come out in 4K. So that's a very broad statement there. So
I mean, I saw a couple that Shane Lee had posted,
Dude.
so that's
Yeah.
usually who I get my 4K release updates from.
yeah,
And a couple of guys I follow, I think Movie 365. There's a couple of other guys that I follow that, yeah, we'll
I
talk about
watch
4K
Films at
releases.
Home, and he
Yeah,
changed
Films at
Films at
Homes is also another
and
good
that's
guy.
the guy I watch. I like his.
Yeah.
because he's not about equipment and all that. It's like literally he's about films, and he's so good at it. He friggin' one of the Criterion collections that is out. He actually has a transcript or a writing in one of the movies. Like that's how he's one of those guys that is true passion. And I forgot that. I'm so horrible. I wish Miguel was friggin' he's my memory guy. He's like, oh, you're talking about blah blah blah, because he changed the name of his channels, and he has a true passion. Now a lot of his stuff is like horror and scary movies, Criterion collection and stuff like that. He obviously watches other stuff, but those are the genres that are really like there's a following, and people like will remaster them. They'll do way better at the Atmos and all that stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Rob, I agree. I'm actually working on a couple of them to get them on the show. So,
Man, you got to show that question, before you answer.
Oh no, I just read it in the chat.
I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Sometimes if I don't take a look, if I don't talk about it, I might just forget.
So Johnny says he took his granddaughter to see Lilo and Stitch. Thought it was pretty good. I thought I was gonna do that too.
Yeah.
So
I love some of the animation, like Minions and stuff like that.
Well, this is more like a live action one. So I believe
it's a live action.
Yeah,
Lilo
that's what I thought I saw.
Damn.
Yeah.
Isn't there a live action Dora the Explorer coming out or something?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go watch it.
Come on, you gotta do Dora the Explorer now.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had a chance to watch anything.
The How to Train Your Dragon live one, just because
I do want to see that.
I do. Yeah. I really like the animated series.
Yeah, I do want to see that. I didn't have a chance to watch anything. My theater's still in shambles from the last time that I showed you, and Ike told me I needed work boots. So I did work on it. I did work on it a little bit more.
It sounded like it really hurts.
Wow.
So but yeah, it's still all.
Now I know why he didn't speak to me all week.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't even
dust underneath.
Just let it out. Just let it go.
I didn't even know that you said that. But I went back and I was looking for something on the show, and I replayed it, and then I heard you tell me that. So
he's like, God dang it, man, I'm not even getting it. Yeah, whenever you take a beating so much, you don't even notice a punch. You're just like, what? I didn't even notice. Like, what's happening?
Yeah. So I got the back wall just about done. I just need to
okay.
do the bottom plate, and then I'll start putting the design plates in. So but yeah, so probably gonna work on that a little bit over the weekend. Damn, Paul, you're already on the second one, bro. You need to slow down. We're only 45 minutes in.
45 minutes.
Great freaks.
Now this is actually New Belgium Brewery. For those that don't know, that's a Colorado. This is not it sounds like it's a cider, but it is a very dry grape. This is right now my favorite new beer. It is amazing.
Yeah, because everything about that name says cider. So,
it does. When I first heard it, I was like, "Oh God, this is gonna."
I'm gonna have to see if I can find that one here, because I do like grape drinks. So.
It's if you like grape drinks, it's almost like the dryness of like a champagne or something. Like a dry champagne. It's hard to explain, but it's really good. It's great flavor. But it's dry. It is not. It is the opposite of a cider, but grape flavored. So if you don't like
ale, it doesn't say
dry.
cider.
Yeah, if you don't like dry drinks, you are not gonna like it.
Okay.
Because I'm not big on sweet drinks, but hey, I try everything, and I was like, oh, let me try it, and then I was like, okay, that's interesting.
I'll have to see if they have that in my local.
What I know he's getting paid is to buy some of the fruitiest named beers in the world.
Yeah,
man.
I get paid by the drink.
Apricot apricot raspberry or something like that, right?
Oh wow. Yeah. There's every flavor you can imagine, man.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, I didn't have any chance to watch any movies, so we can move on to topic number 2, which you kind of touched on that a minute ago. Ike, you talked about how Taylor was trying to do some fabric walls, and I actually watched a Facebook post that Matt, I'm now blaming you for a setback in the theater for a little bit more now. But Matt from Broward Media, he actually posted this video about diffusers. So basically, he's got a
The benefit of going with
black tape light.
Black tape light diffusers along with black extrusions is that when you don't need to see the light, you don't see it. And when you need to see it, boom, you can see it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
RGB with black lenses or diffusers. So you do not see white lights or white diffusers in the middle of your black walls.
So yeah, so now I've got the shop for this now, because it's it's not something that I thought about.
Yeah, they have them. I actually have
Man,
some.
I told you, you're gonna be like in the 100th upgrade before you finish.
Well, at least I didn't
least
buy
you
any
watch-
of this stuff
At
yet. I
least
haven't
you're
bought
watching
anything yet.
movies. I gotta hand it to you.
Yeah.
You're-
They have, and they even have one that is like the smoke black. So it's not all the way black, but it's like it's dark enough, but it's almost like a
He's
frosted.
got to put in his
black.
AC. He's got to now smoke all of his or black out all of his LEDs.
Yeah,
Change the
as long as
design 3 times.
if I go with black in the middle, I feel like that's something that I have to do.
Now he's talking about new subwoofer. Oh God!
Hey,
Wait till we
the-
get to
the-
topic 3.
That Epson will be about $6,000 when he's done. From 30 grand to
Hey,
6
you'll,
grand.
you'll,
Yeah,
you'll
it'll
never,
be
you'll
way-
never
it'll
be
be-
done, man. Never be done. Never be done.
Oh.
But yeah, like Fred is saying, it's the little things, and I'm sure Fred will know about a lot of little
It is.
things. But
It is, and that's why
it's
I
the
want-
little things that will make the theater look really, really amazing. And
It's the ones that are, but it's not just about trying to make it look the coolest. It's the things that speak to your design, like my little barcade that I did, like that design was all me, and it speaks of me. It speaks of some of my journeys. And it's cool, and it was fun, right? I could have, I want like 40, every arcade system. I want to
Mhm.
have the biggest TV. I want to have the best sound system and, all this stuff. But I'm like, nah, just implement, write down your taste. And then, like I said, Ton, he told me, he goes, dude, after 2 weeks of design, if you haven't finished,
yeah,
you just need to implement and do not change the design. Don't do like every friggin' project and, scope creep. Just finish it. In the end, yes, I don't care how perfect you make it. When you're done, you're going to see something.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be like,
just point to the guy you're talking to, man.
yeah, I need to change.
Just
I
point
need
to
to
the guy you're
change.
talking to.
I need to change it. You're going to do all this perfection for day 1, and then you're going to be like,
Yeah,
I
should
still
have
Look,
wouldn't
I'm
know.
glad I discovered it because I didn't even know they had like
used the
black.
pink fabric.
I didn't know they had black diffusers. I mean, who would think that the black diffuser would allow the light
need
to
to be
come
in the
through?
car.
It's on
Hardcore, there.
Amazon, bro. I bought mine from
Yeah,
Amazon.
I didn't know. It was something. It's like a light bulb went off today. I'm like, shit, Matt.
Well, and
I even sent him a message. I'm like, damn, dude, now I got to order this shit.
Well, and that's what's fun. That's what's fun, right? Like me and Miguel have talked about this, right? And like we watch a bunch of YouTube and audio channels and stuff like that, including our own. And it's like, why do you keep watching this? Because you get to a point to where you you know 90%.
Mm-hmm.
You know 98%, right? Maybe you know 100%, right? Maybe you are the creator of everything. But in those three instances, 80, 90, 99%. Number one, you always learn little bitty things. It's like, oh, wow, I never thought about that. And you put that in the bank, right? Or even if you know 100%, and this is where this is speaking to all those people that truly do know everything, right? And some people are rude about it, but the reality of knowing everything, it doesn't mean that you can convey everything. When you're watching other content, you may not be learning anything, but you may learn how to speak or relate or translate or get someone else to understand. That is what's amazing about a hobby, right? Like, even if you know everything, it's like, oh, I never thought about saying it that way. That can make way more people understand it than, talking, in your jargon, your super engineering. And that's what's fun about it. You're always learning. Even if you know everything, you're still learning,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, I just, I'll probably never stop watching, videos and stuff about home theater, but do I watch them as frequently as I used to? No, I've definitely slowed down
Yeah. Yeah. There's
on
certain
watching.
things where you're like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, do I watch, but I mean, when I was first learning this hobby, there was nothing that I couldn't watch. I'd be up in the middle of the night just watching videos and trying to consume as much content as I could, and talking to people like on Facebook Messenger or wherever, all through the middle of the night about home theater.
Man, I might have to freaking get you to tell me how to do that. Yeah, I haven't done any of the AI.
Fred the Explorer.
Yeah.
You gotta light up. You gotta light up
Yeah, well,
those
we know
dark
what he's
corners.
exploring most of the time. It has
Yeah,
nothing to do with audio.
You gotta be able to turn up the lights under the stairs. We got a question here. I don't know if anyone has this experience, but I didn't want us to forget it. Do you run separate preamps in the home theater for 2 channels? No, I just use the same.
My Yamaha has a pure direct mode, so it has that built in. I have never used it. Well, I mean, I've tested with it, and yeah, it literally just uses I forget, it's Saber DAC. It has, they have a high end, the Avantage, whatever, 50, 60 or whatever, the pre-pro that Yamaha has. It has the high end Saber DAC in it, and you can turn on pure direct, and that's exactly what it does. And you're just literally using XLR. There's a 2-channel XLR output on it, and I've tested with it before and stuff like that. And yeah, it disables everything in it, and it's just using the DAC, and that's the whole purpose for it. It's like, nope, no processing. You are getting just the DAC that's taking the digital and
yeah, my Denon also had that pure direct.
I wonder if the EVM 70 has it.
Yeah, a lot of the higher end and your pre-pros have that built in, and that is exactly what that's for. It's instead of having to have a separate, preamp for, and you can still use a preamp, and some of them have, maybe they have different outputs that you like.
I've seen people go as far as setting up 2 sets of LNR speakers, right? So they would have one just for 2-channel, and then they'd have one for theater.
Yeah.
So and they were literally side by side.
And you know what? That's totally a sensible thing if you're trying to do something like where maybe you have a 2-channel setup where you have to have head and device, but the imaging is like way better, right? But it's something where you literally are just head and device. If you move here, nope, off. But it sounds that much better if you're in that one sweet spot versus, whenever you're doing home theater, you're wanting maybe wider disperse. You're wanting to appease more than one person, So, or maybe you want to relax, like you can't be sitting there listening to some speakers are so exact and great at imaging, but if you just lean over, you're just like, nope. Like, oh, it just fell apart, crap. But
Yeah, so Rob, you might want to check if you have Pure Direct in your AVR processor and try it.
So he followed up with this too. He says, I'm torn between spending fresh money on a great 2-channel pre or get a great set of cans to go with my Sony headphone amp. So, I mean, look, I can tell you that if you get a good pair of headphones, you probably won't be chasing as many rabbits.
I will tell
right?
you this. Here's my deciding factor on that comment. If you do not have your room very well treated,
Exactly, that's where I was going.
Yep. I would go with
I was going to say you won't be going down the rabbit hole because you're going to be taking
because you could spend $100,000 on speakers, and if you don't have good treatment, and when we say good, I mean you know what I'm saying? Because obviously, from this comment, I am just assuming, which is probably bad. That's, hey, I want this perfect audio 2-channel, blah 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 blah. But if you don't have like just amazing treatment or decent even, your your friggin' iPod earphones could sound better than $100,000 friggin' set of speakers if you don't have good room treatment.
I'm not the biggest fan of listening to music on headphones, man. And I've used a couple of them. I buy them and they just end up hanging on the headphone rack because I'm like, I can't wait to get this stuff out of my head.
So I want
after the show.
If I'm going to sit down and listen to music, I want to do it with somebody, right? I don't really want to just do it by myself.
Oh
right?
yeah, I do it by myself, man. I'll get into just a mood or something and just relive some of the angst, some of the anger, some of the heartbreak, some of the triumphs, some of the success, some of the journeys I've lived through music, and just be into it, and just retouch to my own, realizing your own vulnerabilities and your own successes. And through music, I'll do that by myself. I'll just be sitting there just jamming out and just be like, yeah, or like.
So I need to make, like, we might need to send in a wellness check one of these.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw in a joke.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
I spent the last
music
45
is powerful,
seconds
man. Music
trying
is
to.
powerful.
I spent the last 45 seconds trying to evaluate if I should put in a joke somewhere here.
Oh, I don't care.
Like, I'm like, do you listen to Avenged Sevenfold or you listen to Jessica Simpson? What exactly are you listening to when you're in this mode? Because
yeah. No kidding. Oh man.
Yeah, but for me, I don't know. If I have the headphones on after 1 or 2, 3 music, I'm just done. I like being able to move around. I like being able to just listen to, the surround, the ambience of listening to music.
Oh, please, God, enjoy.
Yeah, it's kind of beer, man. Kind of beer in front of me.
The sad part is, I guarantee you, Fred does the exact same fucking thing. I know him.
That was
he's
such
like
a vulnerable moment, Fred, and you're
making fun of himself right now. That's what makes it so funny.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, I tried listening to some I don't know, some spatial audio on Apple Music the other day, and I don't know, for some reason, I think the way that it sets up, it was setting it up to play through my left and right speaker. Nothing was coming out of the center. Have you tried spatial music through Apple yet, Paul?
I have not.
Spatial audio. How about you, Ike? Have you tried? There you go. Avenged Sevenfold.
This is one of my most.
That's the Guitar Hero right there.
One of my favorite albums, man.
Wow.
It's really good.
I would have not thought of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
saw them.
I literally have all the albums.
I mean, dude, your friggin' favorite movie is Sound of Music, which is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
But
by the way, I think they're remaking that 4K.
Yeah, they got a 4K coming out. I've been looking at.
Oh, see, I will get that one.
I've wait listed that thing on every possible website. I'm probably about to send an email to them. But yeah, I finally got this one because I've been looking for the violin for a very long time. So it's good to finally get it.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, that's
Yeah, but that's it, Paul. You learn the new stuff about people every day, right?
yeah,
I have
yeah.
the ability to
Again,
go both
that's
extremes.
what I love about going to, you know, like I'll go to a bar and sit down and we'll start a conversation with random strangers and just learn. Like I've met secret, and I'm not even joking, like secret agents, you know, cops, and like talk to them about some of their past stuff. You know, talk to like, you know, billionaires that friggin' basically own countries. I mean, just random talking at the bar, you know, and it's just, it's fun. You know, you learn experiences, you learn their perspectives, and, you know, it's a good time. It's, you know, you're always learning something, you know, and it's always interesting. And you know what? Beer brings us together. So,
I
you
thought it
know,
was
good time.
based, but yeah,
Yeah, beer could bring you together too,
together
for
too.
sure.
Yeah. Or
Based
coffee.
beer.
Coffee.
So,
Don't forget the
like,
coffee.
what do
tea.
you listen to your music on? Do you use Apple Music for streaming? What do you? Or how do how other than
I have
obviously you
Tidal.
got vinyl.
I use Apple. I do have Apple. I have
So, have you tried the
Spotify.
spatial music on that?
I've tried it in theater, yeah, but not with headphones. I thought you were
Because like
asking.
no,
Now,
like
what do you mean by spatial? Isn't that the one where when you look around, it changes?
spatial is like Atmos, right? That's
Yeah,
what's
that's
version.
the
Oh,
Atmos
yeah, I've
mix.
listened to that, but no,
So it's
I thought
It's
this
only a few albums that
spatial
really.
was. I thought that was reserved, and this is showing my ignorance. I thought whenever you said the spatial with Apple, that was the one where if you looked to the left, it would shift the sound, like the sound stage would
Soundstage.
stay.
Yeah.
That's what
maybe I
thought.
was looking wrong, but when I look up on Apple Music, it doesn't say Atmos. It says
Yeah, it's spatial.
spatial.
Spatial, yeah. So, because
Right.
I've listened to Atmos on Tidal and stuff like that, but spatial, I thought was, hey, you're in the space,
Right.
and if you're looking at the band and you turn, it's like, oh, the band is, you know, over
'Cause
there
I
still.
was the reason what led me
But I
down
could
this
be
road
wrong, obviously.
is I was trying to listen to Chana's new song.
Oh,
The
that's just Atmos.
Right.
Is that considered spatial?
Right, but when you look it up on
Yeah,
there, it
because
says
it's
spatial, but
because
it was
it's
only
Oh.
playing 2 channel.
Well,
So
now
I remember him saying that there's a version
I
that
think
yeah,
he's
there's
got
two
mixed up.
versions,
those are
and he
messed
said the
up with
one that was
the
labeled
original one.
Atmos is playing the voices, which is not Atmos. That's only
Right.
5.1 or
And
whatever.
then, so anyway, I was like, all right, let me try some different music, right? And they were basically, it was just playing out of my left and right channels. So I didn't get anything from the center channel at all.
Round sound for a headphone. See that what is that? That doesn't mean anything to me because it's like, dude, we've had which okay, if that's what it is, it's like,
Yeah, it
oh,
was the whole
okay.
gimmick that they were trying to use with headphones, right? Where they're like, oh, you can get 7 channels.
What is it called then? Because there is a thing with iPhones where you have audio where when you look around, it changes.
I thought that was spatial, like you did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm,
Because that is a new Apple only thing, which some people hate it, which I could.
Well, it's not. I was getting that with my Samsung Galaxy headphones, so it's not just
Yeah.
Apple.
Dude, Apple always gets new tech like 10 years after Samsung. So it's like, you know, Samsung's like had it for like 10 years and Apple comes out of like, hey, brand new. Yeah, I think for that channel stuff, I know he mentioned that the original
Yeah, they
publishing
messed
was
it up.
kind of,
And
they messed it up. So he kind of had to do a new.
And I love the genius, like his own. He learned how to do something by mistake, which is amazing. And you don't necessarily have to have like a whole content change on it, but you could just at the beginning, you could have like one extra drum beat or something to let you know, hey, dude, this isn't actually Atmos, bro. I heard that I'm supposed to hear a bump, you know, at the beginning on this, in 3 seconds, you know, in, and you know right away it's like, oh dude, that's not my Atmos, dude. You're not playing
Right.
Atmos.
Yeah,
That's
but I
Yeah.
think they
genius.
use spatial audio because remember,
Right.
Atmos is
The
straight
category
Mac,
is
right?
spatial audio.
But Atmos is trademarked, right? So it could be any other. It could be Sony's spatial audio,
Well,
right?
it says Atmos right
Sony,
there on the
but
damn
that's
like.
that's an artist, I think.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah, that's an artist. Yeah.
oh,
You
God,
know,
that's funny.
Sony has its own 3D sound that it uses that is spatial,
Oh,
right?
okay,
I
yeah.
think Apple is probably trying to come out with with one that they use for their VR sets. So spatial audio is, yeah, Atmos is trademarked, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Dolby. It's a
yeah, it's a Dolby
Yeah.
product.
product. Yeah.
So there are way more other options from Sony 3D audio, the one on the PS, to whatever is out there. So that's probably why it's just labeled that way.
Well,
Yeah. So I was anyway. I was just trying to find out because it was only playing through my left and right channel, which I thought that if it would be spatial, it would play through all the channels.
It-
You know.
Yeah, no, his
So-
his thing does absolutely like,
Got to get you that RO 3D, man.
you
so you can outmix
know,
it.
if you're friends with him, you know, you can just download it directly. He'll send
Yeah.
it
No,
over.
I wanted to support him on Apple Music and stuff like that. So it says his mix is messed up on Apple. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but even the other mixes were just playing on my left and right channels for other songs too. So
Really?
when I went to that spatial thing, so I don't know. I'll have to play around.
That's
with
I'll
got to
it.
be
try- I'll
either
try it
a
tomorrow.
setting on your pre-pro or the Apple TV itself.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
got
I
it
didn't
ready.
have it
Yeah.
in the settings in the Apple opened up.
Because you'll get like, I'll get Atmos on my pre-pro, but it'll be PCM. You know,
Oh, get a
it'll let
Yamaha,
you know,
man.
PCM.
Get a Yamaha, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So many settings for all this
Sometimes
stuff,
you
know?
don't need all those extra bells and whistles. They fuck you up, bro. It's like, I've got one button, you've got like 30. I'm like, I know my shit works. Boop.
Yeah.
Got the on button.
Yeah.
It works. It's all that matters.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I do
Yeah.
Tidal. The only thing is, and I don't know that the like what I'll do is do Tidal, and it is literally super quiet. You know, like I'll have to, like, that's if I'm going direct, I'll have to turn it like to 0 or something if I really want to jam, where everything else I'm at like -15 and
Right. Yeah. No, with Apple, yeah, I've always had to up the
oh, okay, I didn't know if that was just
yeah.
it's
So
like, wow,
so
it's
Big
like,
Jack,
what?
this is this year's model of the Apple TV. So I have the newest model.
You need
I
to
was
come
gonna
out
I
with a
was
new
gonna
one.
wait until the new one came. I just purchased it like 2 months ago. So I was gonna wait until the new one came out, but I was impatient. So because I think they're coming out in September, October for the new Apple TV. So yeah, I'll have to go into the settings and just make sure that the it's allowing everything through, you know. But I've watched movies on Netflix.
I was wondering. I don't feel so bad now if Michael, if he's having to go. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even get to friggin' negative. Like on a low volume movie, I'll go to -10. Like
So I've watched Netflix before and the same thing, you know. But it will play Atmos, you know, when I'm watching Netflix. But I do have to turn it up a lot. So
Yeah, okay. I was wondering because
Yep.
I'm like, man, what the hell? Like, and I'm listening to Atmos. Like it knows I'm listening to Tidal and all this other stuff. And
So did you guys, Paul? You still running the shoes in your theater?
you know what? That is our third topic of the day, which I don't know if you guys know, but Shu has actually released a new subwoofer.
A new
Yeah,
pair
how
of
about that one
shoes.
right there?
I thought you were about to say a new pair of shoes.
Competitor to the basically Captivator. Yeah, and it's a beast. It's a beast of a subwoofer. Now, me personally, I like sealed I don't even care about the extra 4 ports, but yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I actually thought that
it's
was a
beast.
reflection of the top ones, but it is actually 4 ports.
Yeah.
From the
Mhm.
previous picture, it looked like a
Yep.
reflection.
If you go to there's actually a Shu has their own YouTube channel, and they have a video on how to change it from sealed to ported. Basically, you have an amp that's on one side of the subwoofer, which you could either, there's 2 basically holes on the main sealed cabinet. And if you want to, you could like change the amp position and lean the sub on the side or whatever, you know. But if you want to add the 4 ports, you take the amp out, put it where the plate is, and then where the amp hole was, you set it on top of the 4 ports, and it seals because it has a rubber gasket, and the subwoofer is like 110 pounds, so it's compressing the rubber seal more than enough to make it a fully sealed enclosure. No different than screws being on the surround of a subwoofer, right? So it's just
So is this the top portion of the subwoofer
yes,
here?
that's the top portion. Yep, it's dual 15s.
And then it's because it says supercharge. I'm trying
That's
to get
the
this to go down, but-
supercharger, which is the bottom. Yep. So, which is the that bottom portion.
Yeah. And that's the ported portion that says that you can change the port front to front or back or whatever way you want to change.
Yeah, you can rotate that either facing it that way, or it can face the opposite way because it's kind of a rectangle, right? So you can face the ports forward, or you can make them basically match where the amp is, and normally you would put the amp toward the wall, or you can rotate the ports toward you if you want to be able to see the ports, type of deal.
So 4,000 watts, 1,200 watts continuous.
Yeah.
Got 2 15-inch. What's it? Opposing?
Dual fire inside.
Yeah, opposing subwoofers. Yeah, they're on the opposite side of each other. 132 dB capable, I believe, at the ranges that everybody brags about. It's the same range,
Right.
In the 40 to 60 hertz range. The gunshot, the super impact for one sub, and I think it's right now. I think it's $2,100 if you pre-order. I don't know what it's going to cost in the future, but yeah, it's a crazy.
Chimera. Where's that name from? Is that not Resident Evil? Oh, which?
I think I don't. I'm.
Does it move you?
I think it's an Asian. No, I think the reason you're hearing that Chimera, I think is I don't even remember. I think it's Asian, but I don't know what it means or anything. But it's. I think we are hearing it from Pacific Rim. I think they have some of their Kaiju, Chimera. I could be wrong about that, but I was like, man, I think that's like a beast, like type of deal.
Yeah, that's what I think. It reminded me from a movie.
Yeah, I think it reminds us of Pacific Rim,
like a vampire, like
the Kraken or the Chimera. The Chimera, the Kaiju, that type of deal. But yeah, I don't know what it means, but it
reminded me of a movie for sure.
Yeah,
there's definitely a movie
like means beast or something like that, or big beast or something. But again, what do I know? I don't know anything. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It is cool. I love Shu subs. Like they're no fuss, no muss. They're, knock on wood, I've had mine for ever, and they're just price to performance. I mean, you just can't beat them. It's just now they're getting.
What are those 4 things on the corners?
Those are feet.
So it has the whole unit at the bottom.
So if you look at this picture, right, you see where the plate amp is.
Yeah.
There's an exact square or rectangle or whatever that is on the bottom of where it's split. That's where that plate amp normally goes.
Oh,
And
okay.
then there's a block off panel where the amp is shown right now.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then in order to add the supercharger, you take the plate amp off of where it would be right now in between those, the 4-port box and the subwoofer box itself. And then you put it where it is now, and you take the plate and you just put it to the side. And then you set that top half right on top of that supercharger.
Is there a price for this now available?
Yeah, I think it was $2,100 for the pre-order.
Well, it's $400 right now for the
Deposit, right?
pre-order.
Well, oh
Deposit.
yeah. But it's but it's, I think it's $2,100 total. I don't know what the final. I thought the price was $2,100. I could be wrong. I mean, it's a really good deal. Again, it's just like I mean, these are competing with $4,000 and $6,000, subwoofer performance levels. I mean, so it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, definitely interesting, especially with the I mean, just being able to turn it into
Yeah,
a
you can do
four-ported
you can do sealed, you can do 4-ported, and they have the measurements on their site up there if you look at it.
Yeah, let me see.
So
See if I can find some measurements.
So yeah, the specifications and measurements, SPL on the 4-port, sealed. They have, they have all of it, the dB levels, and
So looking at about 15 hertz at 90 dB.
yeah, yep.
On 2 ports open. That's the highest.
Well, that's just showing the graph. That's not the actual C rate. That's just showing you the frequency response of the like, hey, this is flat and type of deal. But if you're looking at so this is a trick that every manufacturer does, right? You're going to show what we're capable of, right? But then if you actually look at the actual measurements and output, I'm not going to show you that on a graph because I'm not necessarily distorting, but then people will be like, oh, it looks so bad. But they all do the same thing. You're going to show your regular reference 90 dB, oh, look at how flat it is. But then if you actually look at the capability before it distorts, it's just not doing the volume. It's not distorting with these volumes that you're looking at, but it's physics, and people don't understand how that works all the time. But if you look at, you've got 100 and, whatever that is, 132 dB at 40 hertz. That's fucking loud. That's for one. And this is in
That's all 4 ports open.
Yeah. And then but look, if you showed that on a graph, it would deter people, right? But they all do the same method because, again, it's like, I don't want you to I don't want to show you, oh, hey, a subwoofer actually does this. No one does that. All of them do the same thing. It's just a physics things, Now, you could, this is one of the things where, the 50-inch that Ryan has may be way over here, but it's not going to be doing 30 hertz at all, right? You're going to see, oh, look, it does 5 hertz way up here. And then, so you could blend it together type of deal. But yeah, this is, they're just showing you a regular graph here of, hey, when you're listening at normal volumes, this is how flat we can get it. Here's my face.
Sorry, I don't control the thing normally, so I was just
not bad, man. I mean, their other subwoofers speak well for,
Yeah. And Paul, you've been a huge fan of their subwoofers for a while, right?
It's one of those things where it's a company that's online only, and I was scared to death. The only reason that I took a chance on it is because my buddy Miguel, he's like, no, that I have them. They're great. And I ordered them. I'm like, dude, these beat they are every bit as good. Now, I will hands down, they're every bit as good as SBS at half the price. They do not have the features. They do not have like the built-in EQ. They don't have the, if you're not an engineer and willing to do like a mini DSP and restrict it on your own, it has, your normal
As a learning curve, right?
Yeah, it has its own protection stuff in it,
Yeah.
because that's just smart, right? But it doesn't have it has a Q factor on it, which is good. It has XLR inputs on it.
Yep.
So I mean, that's
Balanced and unbalanced. Yep.
But as far as like you having the EQ app and your phase, it's only 180, on 0 180 on the phase and stuff so if you're trying to match all that stuff, yeah, it doesn't have that like the SBS subs. So, but it's like half the price, man, and they're amazing. So it's the best bang for the buck. I mean, you're talking like, I don't know, like Tone Winner and some of those other brands. I don't know the quality of those, but this is high quality stuff. The finish is like the matte finish is like, I mean, we're talking perfect. They're knock on wood. There wasn't how you get some of these off-branded things, not a single blemish at all.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like
so I've actually was talking to Michael Youthman today, and he was nice enough to send out an email to Dr. Shu introducing myself, and hopefully we'll be able to get them on the show. We extended an invitation to them to come onto the show to talk about.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey
man, I would be. I love what he. I just love his products. I don't even know. I might hate the man, but I love his product. I'm like, I don't know. I've never met the guy.
Right.
Well, hopefully,
from what I understand,
you got a chance to tell him that in person. So.
Yeah, exactly.
From what I understand, he's just super down to earth person.
Yeah,
From what
he might be watching now, so you never know.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but we would love to. We would love to have.
We'd love to have you on the
show.
show. So.
Yep, and the only reason, like I talked to Miguel, and I was like, God damn, like if I wasn't already down the path of DIY and stuff, dude, I would totally just buy all these. And then I'm like, but and my buddy Miguel's like, yeah, but you want to have fun building it and you already have all the tools and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's the only reason I'm doing DIY. Otherwise, I've looked at it when I first, I had some clip speakers and they went out on me. So I was like, I need to change brands. And I looked at DIY versus this. It
costs you just as much.
It costs you more to DIY if you don't already have the tools. I'm telling you right now. That's why I was like, okay, I'm going to take a chance, and I did. And I love them. I would, if I wasn't just doing the DIY and wanting to, obviously I'll create some YouTube content on doing the DIY thing. If I wasn't doing that, I would just buy I would buy all Shu subs. And I bought their sealed version. They have way more capable, but I just love sealed subs. I love the sealed subwoofer sound. And, that's why I'm going with like a bunch of 18-inch sealed,
So it's $21.49 is what the cost.
Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't off that far, but yeah. And that's the pre-order, right? I think the price is going to go up.
Pre-order by July.
Yeah, that's the pre-order price. So get them while you can get them, because that's
like they'll sell off quick.
I mean, the capability of that thing is just, like I said, the charts and all that stuff. It's like that's the same game all of them play. It's just like, dude, if you would just look at it, but man, that is competing with your Captivators. That is competing with 4 $6,000 subwoofers all day. And I'm here to tell you, I've got their friggin' 15s, and yeah, I've heard the 16-inch SBS, and man, I got mine at almost a third of the price for those, right? Because even their own subwoofers, you know, the 13-inch and the 16 or whatever they're, you know, the bigger ones, it's only goes down like a couple more hertz, you know. But yeah, I love my shoe subs. They're I'll stand by them. I'll put them against any other, you know, especially at the price range. Like, it's like I could buy 8 of these.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing but good stuff on all the forums about them.
Yeah,
you know,
all
the
day,
ABS forums,
all day. You know, they call me a shoe sellout, but you know, it's like, well, you know, I value my money. You know, and I don't know how that guy's making money off of these. So like, he's, you know, he's smart. He must be a very smart business person to, you know, provide something, and I really appreciate that. You know, because there's companies out there that just on their name alone, right? Like, shoot, there's like tool manufacturers and stuff like that. They're taking the same exact thing that everyone else is selling and charging 3 times as much.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know,
look at
you know, hey,
sometimes
it's about the warranty,
you know,
right? Sometimes it's about the warranty, and I, knock on wood, haven't had any issues with mine. But from what I've heard, they're good with the warranty too, which is unheard of in, you know, in that, especially in that price, you know. So
yeah. So
yeah, Paul is selling shoes, man.
I know, right? I would. Yeah, call me Mr. Cobbler. I'll sell shoes all day long.
Yeah, Rob, we talked about these maybe a couple weeks ago, where they had that
the sub 5s,
the surround, the funny surround that they had on the outside of them. But yeah, we did see those also.
Oh yeah, so. Is that one the one with the DSP in it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good.
You know, there's 2 ways to look at that, right? The reality is, if you could just do this with your own subwoofer, right? Take your phone, whatever phone you have, and nowadays phones can do like 80, 120 frames per second, right? Play some bass notes and record it from the side view, and you'll see that woofer do this, right? Like you'll see the woofer moving like it's a circle, and it's moving like this. It's not supposed to do that, right? That can cause distortion. We don't necessarily hear that because it's bass, right? The waves lengths are so long. But the idea is the round, even you know, surround, it controls that better. But they've been messing with, and I think Klipsch did this a long time ago, and I think what's the Canadian brand, speaker brand? I think they've done some stuff like a long time ago. The Siphonics worked there. That company did. Paradigm. There you go. They have some that are like that, but it's kind of it's a hard engineering fact, right? Because you have multiple different, you know, shapes and sizes. And so the discussion is, okay, in a measuring tool, if you're just not talking human hearing, right? You distort that surround, it's uneven, it's going to move differently and make that waviness worse and distort possibly sooner. But they've been messing with it where it's, but we can make it more rigid to where it does a little bit extra wobble here, but it's much stiffer, so it controls the X-Max and stuff more rigidly. So that's what that's all about. But you never know, right? You never know. It's one of those things where, you know, what's the right thing to do, right? Sometimes it's better to just keep it simple. Sometimes it's like, hey, let's go out here, but it's causing some other issues that we're trying to deal with. And that's what all that, all that's about. But I love it when companies are willing to take that risk to do that, because you put it on some, $1 billion measuring tool. It's like, oh, well, and this surround is causing this problem, blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever. It's like, you're not hearing it. Is it capable of doing more, just in our human hearing range? Then, hey, I'm all for it, So it's fun to see different, like again, that's why I need Miguel. I need Miguel like just over here to remember what's the new high-end company that's doing square subwoofers in the walls and stuff like that.
Ascendo.
Oh, is it Ascendo? Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, we've already done that.
So you don't need Miguel. You just got me.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a 20.
It's the same thing, right?
Like
a square shape is actually harder to control than just a round shape, because you have different weights. Because there's no way physically to make a beam, that's longer. It's like lifting a 2x4, right? Like you if you have it on the center of your hand and you just pick it up, right? How likely is that thing to perfectly lift versus it tilt? And that's basically what that magnet is doing. So the more uniform that it matches the circular magnet and stuff like that, it's a whole physics and engineering thing. It's cool that they're revisiting some of those things, right? Because at first thought you think, oh, square, perfect, that fills up, because size matters, right? The more surface area, the more actual air molecules you're moving to produce the sound, right? But then it's like, oh, now we got to control the imbalance of it being square versus circle and all this other stuff. It's cool. I like the fact that they're diving into that, even with the surrounds.
Yeah, so this one might be the one that he was actually talking about. Let's see.
It's on the website. You can go to their website.
I went to the, so it's a 17-inch sealed. Looks nice. It's got a huge.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that one was a Stark Sound that we looked at too, that had the that surround. But this, look at the
that is a standard surround. No, the one I know, it looked close to the Paradigm surround. So I don't know if their patent went away and someone else was like, oh, I'm going to use it, because it looked,
that looks
kind of
nice.
like that, where
there.
the surround almost looked like a shark tooth and then another shark tooth, like all the way around. It wasn't like just rippled. It's pretty interesting.
This one's $49.99. Let's see. So this is
yeah, tone.
Is that the one you were talking about, the Sub 5, or were you talking about the the other one? So
yeah, the Sub 5 is like the premium one that they have, right? Of the new releases. They have other ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it looks clean though.
Yeah, it does look.
That price is
nice.
fun.
But that price is up there. So now we're getting back
is...
to we're getting back to 2,100 versus 5,000. You can buy 2 HSU subs for the same price that you can buy one Stark sub. So.
Well, it depends. If you're talking about the Chimera, that is $2,100
right?
Yeah. Oh, this one's the $5,000.
That one's $5,000. Yeah,
49. Oh, wow. Yeah. See, that's tough to beat, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a 17-inch.
But that one looks like it has a little bit more, like you said, I think it has DSP and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, and your time and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, but man, I'm a shoe fanboy,
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like, yeah, man. So, but shoot, if he comes on here, I might actually have to get Miguel on here. I'd be like,
so speaking of Miguel, what's up with his theater? He's been at like have you got an update on his theater?
Man.
So He basically is done. He's getting more. He wants to do more sound treatment. He basically got rid of his projector and he went 85-inch TV.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man.
yeah. You know, he
That have you guys seen that new QM8, the TCL?
I
Yeah,
don't know which one he got, but
I
he
know.
got one of the. He got a really good deal on his TV, like a Black Friday deal. But another
Hey.
story, he's visiting his. I think he's at his in-laws. And I could be totally wrong with that, but he was at a house. Like I just found this out today. Like this is how small the world is. He's at his, I think his in-laws visiting, and they're doing their normal thing, mowing the lawn or whatever, and it started to rain. They all came inside. Sudden, like, storm came up with straight line winds. I'm assuming a friggin' tree, gigantic tree, fell on the house he was in. I had to evacuate the damn house. I was like, Jesus criminy, dude. I was like, I'm assuming you're all right. You're calling me and your kids. And he's like, yeah. And then his wife was making fun of him because, like, God, you gossip girl. You got to friggin' tell somebody right away. But yeah, so, you know, things happen. So
Glad it's okay.
But he's okay, thank God. Yeah.
Hey, please, if you're watching, do all the fun YouTube stuff. Hit that like, share, subscribe.
Or dislike.
Yeah, no dislike.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Now, I'm
can you-
still on my road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys could help me out,
Oh,
we'll
I
definitely-
thought you reached that
The
already.
more you like it, the
Nah,
more
man,
YouTube pushes it
I'm
out.
still struggling on that. So if you guys can definitely help me out, would definitely appreciate
So
that.
you're saying I'm gonna wait until he's got 999, and I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, pay up, buddy. I'm about to subscribe right now. It's gonna cost you, but I'll subscribe. That would be
too funny.
hilarious. That's a whole business model. It's like I can be your 1,000th subscriber.
Or what'll happen is once I get to $9.99, everybody will start unsubscribing.
Mhm. Oh, that's the way it happens, right? It's like, oh, 99. What 800? What the hell? Like, damn, one nip slip, and I dropped 100 subscribers. Damn it!
Got
Too funny,
99
too
problems.
And a
So Paul,
subscriber
you've
ain't-
talked about doing some upgrades in the theater the past couple
Mhm.
weeks. Any chance we can get a sneak peek at what you have
A neat peek.
have done in the theater?
well,
He was talking about nip slips, so I figured we'd say a sneak
Okay,
peek.
let's see. I'm gonna.
I tried to
unplug
transition
here
that.
and see. I'll see.
And while you're doing that, I did want to Wade had a question about contrast. I'm kind of confused by the question, but maybe you can help me. It says, help me settle a contrast of points of view. Solid black, thick carpet in a theater with small children passing through. Yes or no? Well, first of all, can't have the children passing through. No.
They live there, right? Yeah.
No, I mean, it depends on your carpet, right? Because even though you get black carpet, you still may
Yeah.
get a reflection off of it.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan was talking about this on their show last week about adding a black carpet, and supposedly there's one on Amazon that everybody is purchasing because it's like non-reflective. So if you go to AVS forum and just search like black carpet, I guarantee you'll find the model that they're the make and model of the carpet that they are trying to or have purchased to try to cut back on their reflections. So.
Yeah, and you probably need to get one like the one I have. It's not black, but you can clean it even with water, especially when you have kids. Just know that black will reflect a lot of kids stain mess, whatever kids do.
Dog hair, you got to if you got
If you have pets,
mm-hmm.
the black will give it a proper shout out, more shout out than my YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's just like a black vehicle, right? I mean, if you don't dry it, there's water spots everywhere, right? You can see the water spots, and
I would say get a dark patterned, right? Patterned carpet versus like an all black, you know, especially with kids, because man, those kids, man, they would invent stain from nowhere, man. So,
So Paul, I don't know what Paul did, but he just messaged me on Messenger.
yeah. Not able to connect back. Oh, do we need to add him?
Let's see. I can.
Yeah.
I think he popped in there.
All I see is the dark.
It's the
Alright.
Crow Cam.
We can't see anything, buddy.
Well, I don't have any lights on, so.
Oh,
God,
okay.
almost. That was close. Almost killed myself. All right.
Please don't do it on YouTube. Please.
I got to figure out. Okay, so I'm in here. Now I got to figure out more. What is it? Settings, camera, front camera,
Rear
back
facing.
ultra wide
There you go.
camera. There we go. All right. Okay, so here's the messy house. So, what I did recently is I had I've done this multiple times, as you can see, and I will finish this. I have speakers here. I had them here narrowed. I had them here wide. And then I had them up here, like closer to this point. But after going to, and I also had them back here even, right? Just mounts, and I'm gonna, refinish all that obviously. But after going to the theater tour, I'm like, man, like I realized the angle really makes a huge difference. So I moved my speakers like all the way from there. Like if you're looking from the side view, right? Like I moved them from this front wall. I
Mhm.
moved them all the way over here. And I there's multiple things that I believe is like I could probably angle those a little bit more. But I hear these fronts like easily now. It is literally about the angles, and there's a couple factors that I'm guessing on this. Right, I'm no audio engineer. I am an
So
engineer.
real quick, Paul, prior to these JBLs that you picked up, you had, what did you have? The Prime Pinnacles up there?
I've had some. I had some of those. I've had clips. I've had
But they were all angled, right? They were all angled
yeah,
speakers.
yeah,
before.
yeah. They were. I had everything angled right at the listening position.
Okay.
So there's multiple things that I think make a difference. So I believe you should just set your system to be front and rear heights, regardless if they're in the ceiling or not. Just I think you just set it that way because of what it does in the processor. But two things that I think this does. I think you could do, I think you could still put them up here. But what I believe is happening is, and this is a pure guess, and maybe some super audio engineers or, Harman Labs could test it. I think is what's happening is when, even though it's coming across here, right, the sound, there's only so much absorption that can happen. Like
Right.
sound is literally like a laser beam, and it's bouncing back here and then it's bouncing back. So it's literally bouncing back and forth, left to right, right? But here it's literally bouncing down and up. And the fact that, I have carpet here. So if you could have put your screen full, like, 4 inches of sound absorption, 4 inches of sound absorption back there too, I think you could leave them, at the heights. Now, I still think you need to do like a spherical type of deal that's happening here, right?
Right.
Just because that's just how your brain kind of works. But I even from here to here, right? It's not like, oh, it's night and day difference. Like I could still hear Atmos here, right? But it was only the major like object effects that would happen in like one speaker, right? If it was happening down here and up there at the same time, I I didn't really notice. It's almost got it like a little louder. Where now, and again, I think this is just because of the way this I have more sound treatment, relative because of the carpet and all this stuff. It when sound or even atmospheric blending happens, I hear it more. It's like, oh wow, okay. And it did define the objects that are happening. Like whenever I was listening to Ghost in the Shell and they had the music, there's a little sound that's like a boing, boing. And I could clearly hear that it was coming out of the top left speaker. So it's cool. It was worth the move. And I spent a lot of time in the attic, and I do have a video and all that stuff that I'm going to have to edit, and it's a lot of work to move that stuff. So, if you're not in shape, which I'm like, oh man, and that's why I started working out again after this, because I'm like, oh my god, I'm like,
So,
oh,
Spade wants to know what are those speakers on the ceiling? What are the main?
all of my speakers are the I forget the exact model, but these are actual commercial JBL 8210s. They roll off at around 10,000 hertz. So, which are to my liking, because I don't like a lot of super high, especially if you're listening at loud volumes. But these actually are commercial grade cinema speakers that Ton got me a good deal on. Basically, the Chesterfield AMC closed.
What are
in
they? Eight
St.
inches?
Louis.
8-inch woofers?
10-inch.
10-inch. Wow.
10-inch with a 1-inch compression tweeter, which I don't even know if you could see it in there. Let me see. I don't. Yeah, no. I was like, there could be. I probably could shine a light through it, but yeah, it's 10-inch driver. And I have every single one of my speakers is the exact same 10-inch
Nice.
driver, 1-inch compression driver. So, which I like. I love it. And like I even just set the surrounds back here. Like that's what I did. That's my camping. Some of my camping supplies, toilet paper. So I'm not that bougie at camping. I need that.
So what with those speakers on the floor like that, do you feel like you're not getting the directivity, or
No, I hear. So here's the thing. Like these, for instance, right? My system says, oh, these are 23 feet away, but they're not. But they've timed themselves because they are reflecting off of the 12-foot ceiling and then arriving right here. That's the first, the FFT or whatever, the impulse response sound. So your system can do that. Now, I've angled them up more, but the way that I have them right here and the fact that the energy is bouncing, because psychoacoustics is a thing. You hear the room whether you want to hear the room or not.
right?
Unless you put literally 2 feet of padding on every wall, you will hear the room. But with the way that I've got these, it sounds like the sound is here because I'm getting the reflection here. And I'm also still hearing, because these are, like 40 degrees left and right, up and down type of deal. So it's like 40 degrees. So it's still coming, by the angle right above or right at my face at my listening position. So by the time I get the energy that's bouncing off of here and down here, yeah, you talk to, people that spend $1 billion on your home theater. Yeah. Oh, whatever. But I'm telling you, if you didn't know any of this, you would literally think I have speakers behind the screen.
Wow.
That's what you would think. Yeah, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I
But-
can't wait to get back out there and hear it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. But as you can see, it's messy. I'm on vacation. I just got back from camping. I got the new chair. I haven't even put the damn box. I haven't even thrown the box away yet. I just got that thing. So, and again, we were talking about this earlier. Here's the scale. Yeah, this is a coffee scale. Oops. It's kind of opposite on here. I don't know why it does that.
Some people use those microfine scales for other purposes.
Yeah.
Don't even go there, man.
That is not legal. in
Before we
Kansas
get our
yet, but
before we
it
get
is
our
legal
show
in Missouri.
taken down.
And then there's this is my extraction meter. This is the Fluid Technology, which this is a pretty cool, like this is an expensive device. It's like I think $300 or $250 or something like that. But this company, the difference is this is kind of like the shoe version of this device. This device usually is like $700-800 just for this refractometer to measure the extraction of coffee. But this one doesn't have the jeweled glass. It's like a regular glass or sensor. So basically it's like think of it as like a microscope, like high powered microscope that you put a little dot of coffee on and it measures.
How did coffee drinking get this complicated, man?
It is, dude.
Like on one hand,
I mean,
go to
you need to know what
You know
percentage
how,
of
you know
your
how
bean that you
Starbucks
use.
has billions of dollars? It isn't because they
yeah, but
stumbled
when
across the
you go to
bean.
Starbucks, you got to deal with those Looney Tunes out there, and then
Yeah.
you come
And then look at this. This is I got this coffee grinder here. This is a
Look, you instead of having a variable speed air conditioner, you got a variable speed coffee grinder.
Yep, pretty much. And and this is my humble, and I've got like the comparatively cheapest coffee. Like the grinder on here is it works okay for dark roast, and I have been it's a little long in the tooth, but I've been getting into lighter roasts, and you really need like a good grinder for that. But anyways, so, and I still, I'm not super bougie. I still have my Keurig, every now and then you got to do a regular coffee. So, and then I still have my popcorn maker. And I put my FlavorCal in a pepper grinder, actually. And I don't even have to turn the pepper grinder, the pepper grinder. I just shake it. And I made this little 3D printed thing. It's not filled, but if I just shake this, that stuff is so fine it comes out. It's crazy. Anyways, so this is my mess of a house, obviously, but I'm not too shy. I don't.
Hey, quickly, does your AVR have voice of Aura 3D? Because that it looks like you're a perfect candidate for voice of God.
Oh, no, it does not. A Yamaha doesn't believe in stuff that doesn't exist. It's like as good as it is, it doesn't matter how amazing it is.
Including their user base, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
you guys are hard
unicorns
to
are
find.
amazing. They just don't exist.
Yamaha owners are hard to find, man.
Yeah. Well, that is true because Yamaha concentrates on actual instruments as opposed to reproducing the sound.
Yeah.
Most of the
Motorcycles
time, so.
too.
But yeah, it is true. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're really good
They
at that.
believe in the great God Wipeout.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna join back. So
All
that was fun.
good.
Somebody came up with a name and called it Wipeout. to wipe out.
So while Paul's joining back, Spade 3193 says, Don, I've never seen your room. I'd like to see your room. So what I'll do is I'll just show you some pictures here that I have.
You got plenty of it on your channel too, right? So you show them just about every time, and
yeah. So like last week we did a quick little look through, but just to share some pictures real quick. So this is before I started putting the blocking on the walls because I'm going to be turning these into fabric walls. So this is my room currently. Well, like I said, I took these sconces down, and I'll be putting some fabric wall up. So, but yeah, so this is that's Abe's room that they're doing. So let me see if I can find that picture that Abe came up with. That's gonna look what my fabric walls will look like. Let me go stop sharing this real quick and then go to, because I just saw it a minute ago. Here we go. So let's share this now. Present. So this is what I'm shooting for the design. Something like, it's going to look something like this, but up at the top third will be one color. Then there'll be a big portion that's going to cover my windows. Will either be a gray or a black or something like that. And then the bottom, I won't say third, but the bottom that's left over will be the same color as the top. And then I will have the pretty much a design, something like this, on the wall with LEDs.
What brand of LED lights are you planning to use?
I haven't even purchased any yet. So that's why, as a matter of fact, Matt, he sent me a message letting me know that he can take he's a dealer for these lightings. He said he gets them through environmental lighting, so he's a dealer for them. So but yeah, so I'll find out what exact lighting I'm going to be using and stuff like that. But eventually this is what it's going to look like, something like this. So
yeah, that looks good, man. That looks good. I like the design. If I had to DIY that, I just don't think it would look as plush. I don't trust myself well enough.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it doesn't work, I could always just go straight panel with straight lighting. It doesn't. Yeah. But I've always wanted to close the or hide all the speakers and everything else. So I just don't want to. The only place you'll see speakers is in the back, because I just don't have the wall depth. I didn't have the wall. I didn't want to take more space from the room. I may build maybe some columns in 2 spots eventually for those rear surrounds, or maybe just put a box on the wall or something like that to kind of hide them. But I mean, I got 4 Rel 15-inch stack subwoofers in the back, so 2 on each side. So those, I think they look really good in the back. I showed some pictures previously of those too, of when I put them back there. I think a stack of 3 would look even better.
Stack of 3.
Yeah, I think a stack of 3 would look even better back there.
You might as well go for wave forming at that point.
Yeah.
Get your Trinnov. Is that a hint? Is that a clue you're giving us?
No. I don't think so.
Giving us a clue?
No, especially not now. So
yeah, I mean, Trinnov box is showing up in a lot of places. So
yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
So Derek says Don's like an extrovert at Mardi Gras. No, I've always wanted the LEDs. And then eventually I'll plunge into the Ike's dreaded star ceiling adventure that he says he'll never do again. So eventually I'll go ahead and put a star ceiling up there. So I don't know if I just buy the panels and then do it that way to have it put together. But I mean, it's quite expensive that way. I think I was looking at like $10,000 to do it that way, compared to just buying the.
Yeah, just DIY it. The only thing is you just need to do them.
I mean, I think I
in
could build my own
smaller-
panels.
You can do
know?
them in smaller 2x, whatever.
I think I would do them in
4x4s.
4-foot sections.
Yeah, and then you can hang them and piece them together, or
Mhm. I
don't
think
do,
I could
don't
probably
do
do
what I
something
do.
that would maybe have a connector. I don't know. I don't know how I've never looked at the fiber optics before. So as far as if you could just, I'm going to have to look at some of those panels that they make to see. I guess they would just all have their own, those panels would probably have their own light engine on each panel.
Yeah, the fibers. Well, I mean, the way it is, even if you buy the regular one, those fibers are so long enough that you can have them actually on one panel
Mhm.
and then just connect them to the other ones, because they light up regardless of how long, wherever you cut them, right?
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
almost infinity. So you can just have it sit in one place and then just move it across. You don't have to have individual. I mean,
But
for
if
the
I'm doing
amount,
them in like 4-foot by 4-foot panels,
it's long enough to get from one base to
Mhm.
just long enough to get through all of it.
so with the light engine, can you remove the LED, the I
Mm,
guess the optics from the one end
no. So
from the light engine?
everything is just plugged into that engine, and that's what you
Right.
plug into the power. But what I'm saying is it's long enough that it will reach
Each panel.
each panel, so you don't have to get separate.
But I
It's
still got to
relative.
get it up into the ceiling and still I guess I'd have to separate whatever lights were in that panel.
You build everything
somehow.
that you want on the ground,
Yeah.
and then you're just gonna have to get help to move it up. You figure it out, So
I have a one of those drywall lifts too. I can probably use.
yeah,
To,
for as much as you're going to use it, don't pay $10,000.
right.
It's not always going to be on,
Yeah, and same thing with these LEDs.
and it
I
gets
want them.
pretty
Yeah.
warm too, because
Oh, really?
yeah, you can. Depend on your room, right? If your room gets as warm as mine and you're always having it on, yeah, it gets warm.
Man, I missed my favorite comment of the night.
Yeah, I showed while you were coming back. Spade 3193 asked to show.
I
my
did
video.
hear that, and then it's something to do with Chrome. It gets all messed up with the cookies, and then it doesn't allow any of my camera or anything to connect. And I'm like, what the hell? I tried rebooting. I tried doing all that. I finally had to clear all the cookies and stuff, and then it allowed me to connect again. I'm like, what the hell?
You're running Mac, right? I don't ever have that issue.
Well, I know. That's what's messed up about it. It's something to do with the fact that I'm using my phone as the camera.
Okay.
And well, I would blame it on just that, but my microphone is an actual microphone. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, what the hell? Anyways. So
I think Anthony's talking about the star ceiling here. So he's going to order some pre-made.
that's a lot of labor, man. That is a lot.
I think it's all just Ethernet cable. Okay. So like POV. Yeah, I have to check into it. I know there's a couple companies out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. You might actually find a good deal, right? If you find a good deal, yeah, jump on it.
Hey, look, I'm going to put it out there. If any company wants to sponsor my star ceiling, you're more than welcome to come install it. We'll put it on the show. We'll
yeah.
You never know who's watching.
I will put it out there. If you want to sponsor it, you're more than welcome to reach out. I added my email to the YouTube channel. So, but yeah,
Yeah, $4,000.
yeah.
Assuming that's
So my square footage that I wanted to put up, I think it was like it's basically 16 wide. No, not 16 wide, maybe 14 wide by like 18 deep. So that's like 400 square feet or something like that. 16 by 14. Yeah, that's 224 feet. So times, I think it was $40. So it's like $9,000 is a quote that I got.
yeah.
So
Yeah, there you gotta. Yeah, there's got to be a new. As soon as someone figures out a new method of doing that, they're gonna make some bank because
yeah.
it's like if you could sell something like a star ceiling, like a panel for like $500, like you'd sell them all day. Because anybody that's ever had to deal with poke, 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 it's like needlework, you know. What I mean? It's like that's why like a crocheted blanket or a needlework like Afghan, you know, a big. Those things are like $20,000, dude, because it's got hundreds of hours of labor in it, you know. So.
Yeah. So Anthony says his was 8 by 16. So that puts us just about where I was talking about, 14 by 16. Yeah. So
yeah, 4K. Yeah. Yeah. That's.
Yep. Yeah. And I of course I want to do the
Or you could put it. Or you could
and
put
all
it
that
off because you're like, oh, 4K, that's way too expensive, and then pay $20,000 in 3 years whenever you're still looking at it.
stuff.
Kind of like the drywall.
No, yeah, it could have been like the drywall. I could
Could
have
have bought his
done a
drywall
long
for like
time ago.
$5 a piece, right?
Yeah.
Well, the good news is I bought my drywall nice and early, so I had it sitting in the garage for quite some time.
Yeah.
So
Gosh.
I think I spent less than like $2,000 for all the drywall. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
man, woo. Yep.
So Derek asked what mics, what lights, cameras, and mics do y'all use? So I'm using the Shure. What is it? The SB7 or whatever. I think it's the same one Ike is using too.
I'm using the cheap one.
I have the SM7B.
SM7B, right?
I'm using the MV7, which also has XLR, but
USB, right?
it's USB, and I use the USB, and I use Govee for my lighting, and I am literally just using my iPhone for my camera. Like it, that's, I forgot what they call it, but since I have a Mac, they call it some fancy name with the camera. I forget what it is, but basically I just plug my iPhone in and boom, it works as a camera. So, and it's a really good, I'm one of these people that's don't spend money unless you've exhausted the capability of what you already have. You know what I mean? Like I'm that type of person. It's like you don't go out and buy $100,000 race car whenever you don't even know how to make a corner and know the difference between understeer and oversteer. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
So on the other hand, I go out and I buy the Sony A7 IV.
He doesn't even have a room, and he's got a $30,000,
On the other hand, I have
Hmm.
I do the Sony. It's at the A7 IV, right? That's the one we have, Ike.
Yes, we have the A7 IV, but right now I'm
A7 IV.
using the ZV-E10,
okay.
which is way cheaper. Probably the cheapest Sony out there.
Yeah. So and then I have the G Master lens that goes with that, and then we have
Yeah,
we have some. I have a diffusion light up here, and then I have like a box light. What are the brands we use for that, Ike? I forgot the name of those brands for the lighting.
Elgato?
Yeah. No, is it Elgato? I don't know.
I have Elgato ring lights and a couple accent lights too that I can show.
What's the big waffle light brand that you told me to
I've
get?
got the
Oh,
Shure?
Here's some
Oh,
lighting.
yeah, the Shure.
for
Yeah,
the
is it
room.
Shure?
Yeah, and I've got one.
Oh, the Amran. Which one did you get?
And then
I
if
don't
you
know.
can see my
I got a few.
there. that's a Gobi light over there in the corner. But anyways, yeah, it's
I need to do a desk tour. I haven't done a tour of my setup. I
Yeah,
got a relatively dope setup. I need to show it.
Yeah, you do have a nice setup over there. I am
you
kind
have
of
a
jealous of it.
really, really nice. Those slat walls that you have. Costco has those now on sale
Oh, really?
for like $45 for 4 panels.
Oh, I bought some from
What are they,
from
2x4?
Home Depot.
Or 2x2?
These are
panels?
2x2, I think. Yeah.
No, these are 24 by
They're
48.
but they're $45, I think, for 4 panels at Costco, and they have
No, they're
patterns.
not cheap. They're definitely not cheap.
No. Dude, this is a really
No, they're
good deal,
cheap
bro.
compared to the. If you check the other ones that everybody uses, I think it's like 100 and something bucks a piece, man.
That's funny. Derek's like, you feel. I feel like, what does an AFAG say?
Yeah,
I
didn't
think
know.
that's funny. That's hilarious.
So let me see if I can.
Yeah,
show you.
very true. Very true.
Yeah, but I think the one Costco
Obviously,
has.
Derek does some racing here.
So this is what I just used a MacBook
Mhm.
for MacBook Pro, and then I put the camera literally right in front of a 42-inch TV right here, so that I can focus on whoever we're talking to, and then I have a box light up here and a big waffle diffuser light over there. So that's the desktop setup that you were asking about, and then I have a little mixing board right here too. So
Yeah, so these guys have all Brembo brakes. I'm running with Napa. And I'm still keeping up.
I'm still trying to think of the damn name of this light that we've got. It's driving me crazy.
It's Neewer, right?
No, I'm gonna have to look now. It's driving me insane.
That's funny. I hate that, man. See, and see, Miguel would know. He would know the name of your light. He would be like, "Oh yeah, no, I got that."
It's newer.
I just said that.
You didn't say that.
I said it was Neewer. That's what I said.
It's the accent. The accent. It
I didn't
not
hear it, I
sound like
guess.
Newer.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
I made the recommendation, right? So I was just telling you.
Yeah.
that's exactly what I said. Wait, that's not what I heard.
Yeah. So
Wow.
well,
Okay.
look, guys.
Good.
Let's go ahead and do all the good things that we're supposed to do on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe to the channels. If you haven't subscribed to Ike's Easy HT Tech or my channel Horizon Home Theater, and I know you haven't subscribed to Paul's Brews and Views yet because he's still
Brews
only
and
public.
Views, it's gonna happen. We're gonna
So make sure you guys subscribe to all those channels, and then if you would like to be a guest on the show, please send us an email at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. Normally what we do is if you're new to the show tonight, we normally have a home theater tour, but with me being off last week or all of us being off last week, we didn't have anybody booked for but I think I'm not going to jinx it. So, but anyway, we might have somebody next week. So, but yeah. So, and we'll work on that. But once again, doesn't matter if you have a sound bar. Doesn't matter if you have a 55-inch TV. If you enjoy your room and you want to be a guest on the show to show off your home theater to us, we would definitely appreciate it. So, you don't need a big dedicated room. As you know, as you can see, maxed his room out. It's a fantastic sounding room. I haven't heard it with the new speakers, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting back out there and checking that out with the new JBLs that you got set up in there. So, but yeah, once again, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, shoot us an email at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com, and please don't forget to subscribe. Until next week.
That dislike button.
Until next week, see you guys. Have a great week.
All right. Cheers, everyone. I'll have to find another beer next week.